In today's video, we are talking about the Australian dollar and whether or not we are going to get a pullback from this market based on the price action from last week. So I'll talk about the details in today's video. I'll also show you how I'm trading this, including a trade I just put on today. So looking at the Australian dollar here, that's AUDUSD on the daily time frame. What you'll notice here is that we had the market break above a trend line going back here to December last week. So on Thursday of last week, we did get a daily close above this level here. So you can see that off of this high back here, we've got this high, we have this one, and these highs through here. So this high on Thursday, or this closing price on Thursday, you can see was reversed on Friday. And we got the close right back down here, back within this consolidation. So as many of you know, this right here is my go-to setup in the Forex market and really any market out there, where you get the market closing above or below a key level and then reversing and closing back within that pattern. And so in this case, you can see again, we had to close above, close back below. Notice what got retested here today on Monday. This right here is textbook, close above, close below, retest, sell-off. So let's take a look here at the 4-hour time frame, and I'll show you this in a little bit more detail. And this is what we talked about in the VIP group today, which, by the way, if you guys do want to join us in VIP to see my trades in real time, get the full course, and also daily discussions, real-time discussions 24/7. Check out the link in the description of this video for 85% off lifetime access, or if you're on the website, click on that Join VIP link. So looking here, guys, you can see the 4-hour time frame. We have this same trend line from December, right? A very well-worn trend line here off of these highs. And what you'll notice is that we did get the close above last week. We got the close right back below, and again, here's our retest on Monday. So this right here, again, this is my textbook setup. This is my go-to setup in the market that I love to trade. And so with that in mind, and by the way, I would have entered on this candle right here, the retest here on Monday, except for the fact that this right here, if you go to an hourly time frame, this unfortunately was when I was asleep. This was right around midnight my time. And with a toddler, I am not staying up till midnight, as I'm sure many of you can understand. So I was not up during this time, unfortunately, so I did miss that retest. However, I told members today that I did short this market through here. Okay, so I was shorting through here. You know, it's in profit now. It was well in profit down here on this candle, of course. It did kind of bounce back a little bit based on this low. But for the most part, guys, as long as we're maintaining below this area here on the high time frames, I like the idea of a pullback into 63.30. All right, so this down here, guys, is going to be the key support here for the Australian dollar. You can see that right back here, we have this high at 63.30. The market broke above. It flipped to support down here. But again, looking at the price action so far, looking at this buy-side fake out up here in this area or failed breakout, it does kind of look like the market does want to pull back down here into 63.30. So we'll see if we get that. Of course, there are no guarantees, even though this is my go-to setup, and it is a very high probability setup. Even though that's the case, guys, just keep in mind that there are no guarantees when trading these markets. So the bottom line here is, I mean, this market is still very tight in the sense that it's just kind of going sideways here. It has been going sideways for about the last week or so. And the only way that this market is going to break open into lower levels, like down here around 62.20 or so, which is essentially the point of control within this consolidation, meaning that this is the highest volume point. It's also a key fib level right down here in this area. The only way that the market's going to get down here is it's going to have to break back within this range. And the only way that that's going to happen is if the market does close below 63.30 on the high time frames. So keep that in mind as well, that, you know, in my opinion, never financial advice, but in my opinion, the second chance opportunity, or really third case opportunity, considering this was the first up here, second down here, and third down here. The only way that the market is going to target areas like this is if we get a sustained break back below 63.30. Until that time, you have to respect this level as key support. All right, now let's take a look here at a wild card with regard to the Australian dollar. And the wild card I'm speaking of is the DXY, because we talked about this recently, including the last weekly forecast, where I talked about the fact that the market was holding below this trend line off of this high from back here on November 22nd. And that has not changed. The market is still holding below this. You can see support back here along this consolidation. We had the breakdown through here, retest as new resistance. So technically, the DXY is still below this resistance level. So you also have to be careful with trying to short the Australian dollar, of course, while the DXY is below this critical level. And I would be willing to bet that if we do see the DXY come up here and test this level again, okay, that is probably going to line up with the Australian dollar coming down here and testing this area around 63.30 or just below. Okay, so that's why I'm saying that if you are going to trade this, you have to respect this area down here at 63.30 as key support for the Australian dollar. Now, looking at the DXY though, like I said over the weekend, the one factor that I'm watching here is that even though the market is holding below this critical level, and even though we could see a retest of that weekly FEG around 104.6, the thing that I'm watching is this price action right here going to trigger a short squeeze? And in my opinion, it kind of looks like it might, because we're seeing the market kind of stall a little bit here so far this week on this pullback, right? And what I'm referring to is if you look at these lows back here, and there are a few ways to draw this, but if you look at the lows back here in this area, what you can see is that the market is forming potentially a little bit of a falling wedge here off of some of these highs and lows. Now, again, you could draw this a few different ways, but if you look at it like this, right, it does kind of look like there is that potential for a short squeeze. And again, you could take this level down here off of these highs back here. There's a few different ways to draw it, even off of these lows. But the bottom line is that, again, the market looks like it's starting to get a little bit squeezed here. And when I look at patterns like this here from the Aussie, I do tend to think that there is a decent chance we see the US dollar squeeze shorts over the coming days. But the key for the DXY is going to be this level up here. It's going to be this trend line up here, which currently comes in, if we look at this on Tuesday or Wednesday, this comes in right around 107.1 or so. Okay, so still unclear as of now, although this also kind of looks like a little bit of an inside bar, pin bar, if the market were to close like this. And this can also be a bullish formation where you get the market consolidating on one day like this here, right? You get a big red candle, consolidation on one day, you drop below, sweep the lows, and then close back within that inside candle. So if this holds up, guys, this could also be a little bit of a bullish pattern to signal that move back here toward 107.10. But the only way that the US dollar is going to move significantly higher over the coming days is with a sustained break back above here on the daily. And the same thing goes for the Australian dollar, right? No coincidence here. The only way that this market is going to turn lower is with a sustained break back below 63.30. So again, I am short here. Stop loss is above these highs, and I am targeting this area down here, although I will book some profit down here around 63.30 just to book some profit and take some of the risk off. Subscribe to the channel and click the bell for notifications. Don't forget to join us in VIP. Claim your 85% off lifetime access. See the link in the description of this video, or if you're on the website, click on that join VIP link. I will see you on the inside. Trade well out there, and I will talk to you again tomorrow.